Joe Burrow out 3 months, maybe the entire season, as he has torn ligaments and probably the worst turf toe grade you can have, the grade 3. But there are definitely layers and levels within those grading scales. But Joe Burrow, expect him to be out at least 3 months. At least 3 months. And that means Browning is one of the, you could say, top pickups of the week at the QB position if you've been ravaged with injuries. But Joe Burrow, Justin Fields, it was a brutal week up and down. And if you're looking at your team and you're like, why me? Doom and gloom. Understand, you haven't had time to look at everyone's roster. Somebody's dealing with something. And it was a bad overall week by far. The running back scoring's been down tremendously over the first 2 weeks of the season. So there's a lot to look at in terms of all that, not just doom and gloom. And slow starts happen every year. Chase Brown didn't get going until week 4. Jahmyr Gibbs, his rookie year, this is last year, Chase Brown. Jahmyr Gibbs, his rookie year, didn't get going until week 7. So a lot of people freaking out. There's a lot of buy low opportunities. There's a lot of people giving up on players really quickly. So just wait and be patient and try and strike where the opportunity is. And we'll attack things as we go throughout the week here. Let's start off with Joe Burrow at the other side of the intro, and then we go straight into the Week 3 Waiver Wire show. The Fantasy Football Show begins right now.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
So, Joe Burrow out for 3 months, and this is just a tough break, but you look at Joe Burrow's injury history, and it's just not good. I mean, the guy can't stay healthy. This is one reason why, and for everybody in here trying to Monday morning quarterback everything, Smitty, you said this wrong, you said this wrong. I mean, one thing we did say here was Bijan number 1 overall player. Trusting Jamar Chase, and I still love Jamar Chase, but trusting Jamar Chase to stay healthy and Joe Burrow to stay healthy and the Bengals to start off on a tear made it tough to draft Chase number 1. Even though Chase is still amazing, I'm not selling him low or anything. He still can survive. Browning's pretty good. But this injury history is just really tough to digest. And when it comes to Joe Burrow, it is really, really, really hard to look at him from a dynasty perspective ahead of a lot of other quarterbacks that are all teeter-tottering on that 3, 4, 5, 6 territory. Torn ACL, MCL, PCL, meniscus, 2020. 2021, dislocated pinky. 2022, MCL sprain. 2023, torn wrist ligament, missed the rest of the season. 2025, grade 3 turf toe, out 3 months. It's just nonstop injuries with Joe Burrow. I love the guy. He's so fun to root for. He's one of my favorite players to cheer on, and such an amazing dude, it seems, as well. But he is out for what looks to be, with the turf toe, with ligament damage expected to require surgery, out for 3 months at least. So Jake Browning will be the Bengals starter for the unseeable future. I mean, Jamar Chase definitely takes a hit. This is not good. I don't think Chase drops out of the top 5 or anything, but I think that it's questionable. He's borderline. I mean, he might have those games where he just ends up delivering yardage and no touchdowns. He might have more touchdowns than we expect. I'm certainly not trading him away low, but I'm certainly not going after him aggressively either. So we'll have to play that by ear, question by question, but Burrow out 3 months, not good. Let's get straight to the waiver wire, week number 3, and we can add to this as we go. So if anybody wants or feels somebody should be on here that's not on here, but digesting this live, doing it live, toss out a let's see, let's do a green check mark emoji and a player name if you believe that they should be added to this list. But I'm not adding everybody. We're trying to keep this as tight as we can versus just throwing every single name known to man on this list. Now, Bill is a tough player to suggest should be available in your league. Let me open the phone line here for Travis. Travis, you can call in if you want. I'm going to have Travis give me some percentages while we comb through this, but Judkins is clearly the top waiver wire pickup of the week. Him and Tootin, Scat, and Bill. Pick your poison as to which running back might save your season. Judkins probably the most likely, given that he got the solid amount of carries, 10 totes from the jump, 60 plus yards on the ground, looked pretty solid. And then Bill. Travis, what is Bill's percentage of availability across formats right now? Is Bill even deserving to be listed?
So Sleeper, he's 83% owned, and Yahoo, he's 82% owned.
Okay.
So he's right on that.
Yeah, I think I might keep him on here just so people know to look. I mean, some people in grandma leagues, but we try to only keep anybody that's in like 20, 25% roughly, but that's close enough to say, hey, just keep tabs on this. But Judkins, what's his availability across leagues?
Judkins, Sleeper owned in 83%, and Yahoo only owned in 62%.
62%. Okay, so kind of depends on what format you play in, but Judkins is probably the top pickup of the week. What about Bashal Tootin? What's his percentage?
45 in Sleeper, 55 in Yahoo.
All right, so majority of you are looking at Tootin being your savior versus Judkins or Bill, but please check and see if Judkins or Bill are available. But these four guys, and Scataboo, what's his percentage? He's got to be like the most available.
So 73% owned in Sleeper,
really?
Only 59% Yahoo.
So you're telling me Tootin's Scats owned more than Tootin, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Jeez.
Tootin got dropped a lot last week for some reason. I think because he was third in the pecking order.
Okay. Well, yeah, and then so Benson, Stevenson, Sampson, Gordon. If anybody has a player they believe they should have that should be listed here, drop a green checkmark emoji. If you don't drop the green checkmark emoji next to it, no one's going to see it. No one's going to care. No one's going to read it. No one's going to know to put it on here. So you're wasting your breath. So drop a green checkmark emoji in the player name. Not adding everybody on here, but Stevenson, what's his availability and what's Benson's availability?
Stevenson is owned in 60% and 67% for Sleeper Yahoo. And Benson is owned in 59% and 52% for Yahoo.
Hopkins, that's a good ad. We'll put Hopkins on here. I'm not sure how I feel about Hopkins, to be honest, but like he just seems to be Lamar's like favorite situational player near the red zone. So he might score like 8 touchdowns on the year or something. It's going to be worth, looking into depending on your situation. We'll put Hopkins down here. Algier, I suppose Algier should be on here as well. But right now, I guess he would go down there next to the Chubb to get into the Marks. That's a good call. I'll throw him on here in a minute. Blake Corum, Hunter still in the mix. Giddens still in the mix. Marks in the mix. Sean Tucker, Garendo, B-Rob. These are all guys that you're kind of just stashing in hopes of. You don't want disaster. No one's wishing injury upon anybody. But safe abduction by aliens and return safely the next year, let's say. You're hoping that these guys can cash in for you. Manungai, Gordon, Sampson. Those are all. Sampson is going to be still involved, but Judkins certainly, I think, proved the first and second down value, and Sampson scoring a touchdown, still very productive. I think they'll be kind of a 1-2 punch, but it'll be more so, first, second down work, chance for having 2/3 of the volume for Judkins and 1/3 of the volume for Sampson, something along those lines. But really, really, really like the idea of, let's say right now you're grasping for straws, and you got Judkins there for your running back too. That's not bad at all. Bill, your same thing. You're scrambling. You got Bill there. Not bad at all. Tootin's not ready yet. Scat might be, based on what ends up happening in the next couple of days. We might get news that they're going to give Scat the full go. We don't know. We have no idea. Scataboo is definitely somebody we need to monitor and make sure he's not available. Love Scataboo. Looks like a dog out there. Just a straight up dog. King Henry got you 2 points. A lot of players played bad this week, bro. It's going to be very important. Those that overreact and sell off Kyron Williams, sell off BTJ. I saw somebody at the beginning of the stream said, sell BTJ now. If you sell BTJ now, you're getting rid of him for nothing. You can't sell BTJ. You go get him for pennies on the dollar. You don't sell him. You can't sell him right now. And I don't think anybody's panicking on Derrick Henry, but people are panicking on Kyron. People are panicking on a lot of players, and there's a lot of good buy lows walking into this week, but the amount of panic is crazy to me. It doesn't shock me, but every year it's kind of like the heat here in Arizona, how hot it gets. It gets to like 118 to 122 degrees, and you forget every time. So when it's winter, it's in the 40s and 30s and 50s. Sometimes you're cold. You're wearing your sweater outside. It's your windows are frozen when you go to your car in the morning. You forget. And then summer comes around. You're like, I can't wait for it to get hotter or whatever. And it's 120 degrees. And you're like, I completely forgot how bad this was. Every year I forget how crazy overreactive everyone's going to get. I understand it. That's why I'm trying to be compassionate about it. But we also have to remember, for every Hendy and Harvey situation you're dealing with right now, there was a Jahmyr Gibbs week 7, didn't do anything in weeks 1 through 6, week 7 unveiling. For every Harvey Hendy situation, BTJ, now you have a Chase Brown doesn't do anything last year until week 4. So he busted on you in weeks 1, 2, and 3. So you have to be very, very, very careful. Don't listen to Brandon in here. Sell BTJ. You can't sell BTJ. Stop saying it, Brandon. So some newbie's going to read it and go sell them for pennies on the dollar right now. Jefferson, panic on Jefferson. Travis, what's your thoughts on McCarthy? I mean, this is what I was trying to say after last week's game. He's a dog. Like, he's got a dog grit mentality. Love his determination. He proved a lot to me in terms of his mentality, no doubt about it. And he had offensive linemen down like left and right. Like, this is not necessarily the easiest way to judge him, but he only played one good quarter in that week 1 contest that proved to us that he could maybe play ball. And while everybody wanted to anoint him an amazing player, I still wanted to see more. And I wasn't against him, but like, you're talking about watching now, you're talking about 7 quarters really of him not playing well, and now 1 quarter. So one of 8 quarters did he play well. So the panic on Jefferson, I can understand it. I don't know how. It depends what you mean panic. It depends what you're going to do. Would I buy him low? Certainly, but what's a reasonable low expectation to make sure you don't get burned? I don't know. What are your thoughts on McCarthy, and is he going to be bad?
So just to give credit where it's due, I think Atlanta is going to end up being a much better defense than people realize. They got some young guys up front, like Xavier Watts, and that's going to be a really good defense. But I mean, I think McCarthy is going to have his moments. I think McCarthy can be clutch, but I don't think he's the type of guy that's going to take over games very often. Maybe for a quarter at a time, like we saw. Now, I'll be happy if I'm wrong, but it's going to be hard to, he's not going to go and throw for 4,500 yards, in other words, like Kirk Cousins used to do with Justin Jefferson. So I think there's going to be games like this where Jefferson gets, 6-8 targets. It still puts up 81 yards, because he's great. But
it's tough, man. It is a tough position to be in if you're a JJ owner. If you're a JJ owner, a BTJ owner, Kyron owner, you're in a tough spot if you're trying to get out of those players. You almost have to stay put. You'd have to have somebody, when someone comes into the chat and says, hey, Smitty, should I trade? Like right now, they come in and say, Smitty, should I trade? I don't know. Trying to think of a player like DK Metcalf for Bashal Tootin. You're like, no, bro. Tootin isn't there yet. Or Scattaboo's better. Like, hey, Scat's on the rise. Should I trade DK for Scat? And you're like, bro, you got to pump the brakes. Scat is a what if, and we're hopeful, very hopeful. Tootin and Scat are not guaranteed at all. You can't go pay that price tag before they get there. Like, that's how if you're selling BTJ, JJ, Kyron. You need to find somebody that's thinking like that on the other side. Like, hey, I'll pay the top dollar. That's when you're selling that player. Other than that, you're not selling any of these players. And Fabio saying Hendy's a bust. You can say whatever you want about Hendy in 2 weeks of football, bro. You're probably the same person, Fabio, that said that Chase Brown was going to suck last year. You're probably the same person that came into the live chat and said, I'm unsubscribing to you because you said Gibbs was going to be good his rookie year. It's week 5 and he sucks. It's week 6. He hasn't done anything. I'm out of here. And then week 7, Gibbs turned into a maniac, and then you were back.
Yeah, I think another thing, too, I see some people worried about London. And as long as London stays healthy, he'll be fine. Penix targets him like crazy. This was against the Vikings, and they didn't need anyone but Bijan just to run crazy tonight.
Yeah. Okay. So
kind of a game script thing.
So real quickly, be on the lookout for Sharps to get cut. Be on the lookout for a lot of people to get cut on waiver wires everywhere. It's wild what people will do after a game. So Wandell looks like the real deal, probably. I mean, he's definitely a solid ad right now, looking really solid for a wide receiver 3. Tesla, and kind of the way that I talked about him all offseason, he's going to be very clutch, but very low, like high efficiency on the low volume. He just continues to thrive in like the smart compartments of usage. He's a really, really solid pick up and hold. Booty's looking phenomenal. He's the number one option, I would say, in New England. So that's somebody to make sure you grab. Keenan Allen, yet to play, but obviously a great pickup if he's still out there for some reason. You can do some ad drops based on the way your waiver wire rules are in lineup rules. Coleman, obviously not what we wanted this week. Franklin, obviously a nice little ad. This is Bo Nix's college wide receiver. The rapport's already been established. It's already been there. It's been there for years, half a decade. So they know each other very well, and Franklin's fitting in very nicely right now. What do you have, 2 touchdowns? Was it 2? 1? It was 2?
I think he had 1.
Franklin, yeah.
He might have 2.
Let me see if I can pull up his.
Yeah. 8 for 89 with a touchdown.
Yeah, it almost said a second touchdown, I think is what I'm remembering. Let me see if I can find that Denver Indy game here. So Franklin, 8 for 89 and a touch. Marvin Mims, 2 for 24 and a touch. But really the wide receiver to own right now is Troy Franklin. He looks really good. 9 targets. Look at the target column. 9 targets. Not another wide receiver had, at least in the top part here where they're getting the big yardage. 2, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. Troutman had 3 targets. Cortland Sutton had 4, but only 1 catch for 6 yards. Not freaking out and trading him away or anything, but Franklin is definitely the wide receiver to add, the wide receiver to own in terms of the ads. I didn't mean to say Sutton wasn't the number one. Tyler Warren, look at that, 4 for 49, 7 targets. And he could have had a much bigger day. I think Tyler Warren could finish as potentially the third wide receiver, or third tight end in fantasy by the end of the season. What are we doing here on let's see, Fannin, tight end, Juwan Johnson, Fannin, Pitts, Ertz, Jonnu, Strange. All these tight ends are kind of, I think Johnson's the most reliable. I still think Fannin did well. Everyone's crapping on Fannin right now. Like, Fannin came back down. Like, Fannin is still very high upside play. Like, people judging Fannin after a pretty decent game. I mean, it was decent. What do you have, like 9 points, fantasy points, or somewhere around 9 points? Kyle Pitts still very, very much. What's Kyle Pitts' availability?
So he's owned in 86% of Sleeper, 72% of Yahoo.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. Let's see here. We got who's clowning on? I see people clowning on Booty. Oh, because he caught 1 catch. Well, his catch was a touchdown, bro. I mean, you can clown on 1 catch all you want. Ian. What do I mean? How about 1 catch for a touchdown? How about it was, 7.5 points that he got today? And that's pretty good on the waiver wire, Ian. I don't know what. So what you discount like what he did week 1? You discount just what he's probably going to do, Ian? You just want to see it all, I guess? Then wait around for it. I don't know. What do you want me to say to you? Can't convince you otherwise.
Someone mentioned Jatavion Sanders. I think he had 9 targets today. So keep an eye on how that develops because he's talented.
Yeah. I think it's crazy people are giving up on people, like especially like after 1 week. Fannin does great week 1. Now he's good week 2. He was good too. And now he's trash. What, you want to cut him? Like, it's just, the roller coaster ride of, you forget how up and down everybody is. Not everybody. I mean, the real ones in here are even keeled. They're patient. They understand the game. But there's so many people that are anxious Anguses that literally just get so upset after 1 or 2 weeks. There's probably a player out there like BTJ that might slump for another game. Maybe even 2 more games. And then they get back on track and they blow up. There's no set like number of games you can have a lull or a drought, a fantasy drought. You know, Lamar Jackson, the year Herbert, I believe, was a rookie, was trash for half a season. Like, it just happens sometimes. He was literally unstartable through about 7 or 8 weeks straight, weeks 1 through 7. And then he was amazing from like week 8 on. That was Lamar. You know, Burrow started off super slow, obviously week 1 this year, but he's done that before where it's multiple weeks, then he goes on a tear. Like, it happens. You just can't, like Derrick Henry scored less than Hendy this week. Are you going to freak out on Derrick Henry? I mean, there's just a lot of Renfro's on the list, bro. So I know you're putting the green check mark, but Renfro's on the list. So here's the waiver board. There's not much to really discuss on here other than Daniel Jones. We talked about the running backs. Bill, if he's out there, you got to grab him. Judkins, you could argue, is even better than Bill. You could argue back and forth on that one. Tootin and Scat aren't quite there yet on the Bill and Judkins level, but they could be. Scat specifically, we just need more news this week. We might see it. The carry totals, the splits, everything looked like they were leaning on Scat. And he's such a tough runner. I could see him turning to Scat. So let's wait on that news. Benson needs an injury. He's not taking the job from Connor. They love Connor. But if he got in there, he'd thrive. Stevenson is probably, you could even say, more valuable in some ways over Benson right now. It's more how you sort this. If you're grabbing Benson for the long-term potential pop, then he is a little bit more valuable than, let's say, Stevenson. Unless you believe Stevenson's going to start and be the starter all year, then by all means, draft Stevenson or pick up Stevenson. But if you're trying to go for like upside, you could order these guys in any way you want. Renfro, Downs, Manor, Thornton is still a project. It's hard to rank Thornton any higher than this. Wicks is solid. Horton caught a touchdown. Tillman caught a touchdown, but it was lucky. It was tipped. Jennings caught a touchdown, but I don't know. That one's tough. It's tough to rank him. You could put him where Downs is ranked if you wanted to move Jennings all the way up or Downs all the way down. Really tough to order these wide receivers. Kind of just depends on if you need them now or you're projecting longevity out of them. And then, honestly, the top dogs, Franklin, Booty, Tesla, Keenan Allen, Wandell. Wandell's probably the safest. Keenan's probably the safest. Wandell's probably right there with him. And Tesla's high risk, high reward, but always there for a touchdown. Danny Dimes is hard to judge right now. I'll be honest. I don't know what you think of Daniel Jones right now, Travis. I like him. I like him right now. I'm respecting the game right now, but I also don't want to do what we just did with JJ McCarthy for like a quarter. Be like, oh, and I know Danny Dimes has done it now 2 weeks in a row. The Colts are winning. There's a lot more surrounding this situation to believe that the vibe is real, but to invest in it from a fantasy perspective, I don't know if I'm like there yet. I think he's in Superflex, it would be great if he was available, but he probably isn't. He probably got picked up last week. But I don't know that in one QB fantasy football that I'm buying into this as my starter unless I had Fields and Burrow on the same team and I'm going to the waiver wire and I'm looking at just this crew left. I'm taking Penix Jr. probably. It's a tough game. Minnesota's really this tough to judge Penix Jr. tonight. But I could understand. Of this list, I'd probably rather have Drake May over all of them for week 3 on for safety. Browning, I think I spelled Browning wrong here. Browning is probably, I would say, the second safest, maybe, or Penix Jr., Browning tied. I mean, I still think Penix Jr. has a shot to really be something special. I think tonight's going to be tough for people to buy into that right now. I think it's going to take another week for him to bounce back or something. But what are your thoughts on Danny Dimes? If you have Fields, and let's say you have Fields and.
Seems like they've got him, under control. He's not throwing too many picks and stuff. And I think if JT can handle the load like he did today, 20, 25 carries a week, and he can just do what he does back there. It seems like they're throwing quite a bit, actually. I mean, and he can run a little. So,
Chat, what do you think about? Chat, what do you think about Danny Dimes? Compare him to somebody and say that he's equal to this player, like the highest value you could think of. What is Danny Dimes equivalent to fantasy football wise? In the chat, drop it. Like example, Kyler Murray, or give me something. I don't want you to necessarily throw a shocking one out unless you believe it. But what are some people thinking as far as like I would start him over
this player? That's a good one right now. Would you start him or Kyler Murray? Right? I think that's not a bad call.
I think we're so mad that Kyler won't throw the MHJ that we're just really, really upset at him. But Kyler did have 32 yards. Yeah, I mean 221 touchdown, 1 INT, 32 yards on the ground. I mean Kyler's not. He's not necessarily all that impressive right now. I don't know. Chat, what are we doing? Kyler versus Danny Dimes. Danny Dimes versus Kyler. Vote on it, please. I'd probably rather have Browning right now. I just hope some of you aren't in this situation. The only people that should be in this situation where you're going to Danny Dimes, and honestly, Drake May, I'm going to move Drake May ahead. I just think Drake May is safe. I think he's going to get better. I think they're going to start using Hendy at some point. I don't know if it'll be next week. I'm not trying to suggest people should expect that. We don't know. I mean, we really, really don't know. I wish I had an idea of how this is going to go. But I probably think.
What about Jordan Love? Danny Dimes or Jordan Love?
Well, I don't think Jordan Love's. Is Jordan Love available in enough leagues to put him on here? Because if so, then we missed him. But I don't think he's available in enough leagues.
71% owned in Sleeper.
Really?
29% available. Let me see. And
that's
78% owned in Yahoo, so I guess he should. Yeah.
That's crazy. Okay. Let's put him on here. Browning. Let me move Browning down. And Caleb's decent for fantasy. I mean, I'm not
another one though.
Yeah, I'm not
him or Danny Dimes.
I don't know. It's such a tough one because Caleb can be so bad, but yet the fantasy production's there. All right, let me change this A-Rod to Love. If Love's out there, Love and May, I'd probably say Love is the top option on waivers, I would say. And then I would say it would be between Love, Daniel Jones, and Penix Jr. But how to rank that is its preference at this point. I'll put May just a smidge below so people can see the pecking order. So it'd be something along the lines of this. I think Browning does need to be up in this territory. Wilson, the reason why I probably wouldn't put Wilson, even though he had a baller day statistically, is the fact that he could get raptured from the lineup at any point. Mac Jones, I guess we do have to put Mac Jones up there for the time being. I mean, yeah, he definitely is going to be in the mix for a while, but I think that it also comes down to the longevity. You know, he's not going to be in there. I mean, it could be one more game. So are you going to be wanting to use your waiver claim on Mac Jones right now? And then Mac Jones is raptured from the lineup immediately because Brock Purdy comes back after, 2-week absence. So that's kind of why Mac won't be ranked any higher than where I just put him right there. But, Mac's good, serviceable quarterback for right now, it appears. And the Niners' schedule is so good that he might be able to replicate that a couple times. Yeah, so if Love is available, so the conclusion on the quarterback front is if Love's available, you go grab Love. He's, like Travis said, he's available. What was the percentages on Love?
71% owned. So he's available in 29% of sleeper leagues, and I think 22% of Yahoo.
Okay, somebody said that Goff's available in a tremendous amount of leagues. Is that true? Because then Goff goes probably to the top of this board. That's insane. Sometimes you just don't know. Like you use. I'm doing this live. Like the dust hasn't even settled. I'm coming in here spitballing. I kind of like doing the show live like this. We have 1,500 people in here from YouTube, by the way. Please subscribe if you're new and hit that thumb up button. But I like doing this live because, I don't know, you get to see the process and you get to see the human side of like trying to figure this out. It's not like when people come out with their waiver wire order, it's like, how do they do that? Do they struggle with it? They seem so for sure on it. And then if I was to go and do this on my own without you guys live, I might miss something like Goff because I don't think Goff's available. It's not even in the realm of possibility in my mind. I'm not saying I haven't clowned on Goff here and there. I haven't said that without Ben Johnson, this team will struggle a little bit, and they did in week 1. But Goff, I would assume, is still rostered.
So Goff is owned in 87% of sleeper and 82% of Yahoo. So there's a chance he's out there. But
yeah, that's probably not. I mean, well, we did put Bill on here, but. Yeah, I don't know.
Boring. I mean, he's probably not in sleep.
Yeah, we're gonna leave him off, but check in if you're in a grandma league. Check and make sure. But yeah, so quarterbacks. If Love is there, Love, May, Danny Dimes, Penix Jr., Browning. Kind of preference at this point. I probably lean toward Love and May being the most consistent in Penix. I like Daniel Jones right now a little more than I did, but I think I still need to see a little more. Keep in mind that we had 2 players balling out last year. Not Kirk Cousins, sorry. It was the 2 quarterbacks was Darnold and who was the other one last year? I'm blanking on where we were questioning their ability to continue. Or was it just him? Darnold last year. Who's the other one? There was someone else that was a very short period of time we were wondering. But Darnold, it was like, at what point do we accept that Darnold is a baller? Because he kept doing it. And then he crumbled. So I'm not ready to anoint Danny Dimes. Baker did it for 2 years now. But maybe I'm thinking of Baker for the year prior and then Darnold this year. I don't know. But Darnold, I don't know. Darnold crumbling after such a long amount of time of having success just makes me a little skittish about anointing Danny Dimes worthy of being in anyone's lineup. That's all I'm going to say. That's the waiver wire board, guys. I'll put it up one more time. I think we've completed it. I don't think there's anybody that needs to be added. Rattler, I guess Rattler maybe. What's his availability, Travis? I'm sure very, very available. And does anybody trust him from week to week though at all on any level?
I mean, like, I'm starting Mac Jones over Rattler every time. So
I mean, yeah, I don't know.
The only reason why he scored over 20 points today, but the only reason is, dude, I mean, they'll be throwing from behind. But
that might continue though, so I suppose we put him on here. I don't. He deserves to be listed, I'd say. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's put him on here. But I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we've seen this experiment before. He's gone out there as a starter, and then we thought, oh, this looked all right, and then he just immediately loses his job, or gets injured or something. But Rattler, We'll put him up here. Definitely, I guess, deserving to be listed. Some people are in dire straits, so in Superflex. So, I mean, this can help you in Superflex as well. Bryce Young seems to be available in a lot of leagues. I don't know if I should be putting him a lot higher than this, actually. Bryce Young, or like, where are you slotting Bryce Young on this list? Love, May, Daniel Jones, Penix Jr., Bryce Young, Browning, Bryce Young. Is Russell?
Yeah, I mean, like I would take a shot on Young, Browning, and Daniel Jones over Russell Wilson, but I'm not a Russell Wilson guy. It's like, I know he'll have these 30-point games, but he'll also do what he did week 1 and get you 10 points.
Yeah,
so, like,
this is probably it, guys. If Judkins or Bill or Tootin or Scatter out there, or Benson, these are potential league winners. If Wandell, Keenan, Tesla, Booty are out there, Franklin, these, I wouldn't call them league winners, but I'd say these are very, very solid choices. If Love, May, Daniel Jones, Penix Jr., Bryce Young are out there, I wouldn't say league winners there either. Fannin, Johnson, Pitts, maybe they're not league winners right now. One of them could develop into one. Johnson looks really solid. Pitts looks, good. And then Fannin has upside to become something much greater than he is currently. I think Ertz is a solid pickup. I want to move him up with these guys up here. He feels more of a for sure thing. But really, it comes down to, if there's anybody trying to figure out if there's a full low drop worthy player, it would be Judkins or Bill. And then you're thinking seriously about dropping massive dollars on Tootin and Scat and Benson and Stevenson for that matter. But right now, is Gordon droppable? I see that question a lot. I suppose, yeah. But you monitor the hell out of him, because if things change and they use him, he'll do great. But they're not using him, and that's not his fault. But it's the reality of the situation. All right, Travis, let me get to these super chats real quickly, if you don't mind hanging tight while I drop these on. Let me just see if I have real quickly. Just put. Okay. Here's this one from Stony. Stony, I'll apologize for the wait, my boy. Dropping that 20 watt on screen. Thank you, my friend, for doing that. Here you go. $20 holler.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Hey, Smitty, one last year with your help. Just got Rice, Jacoby for Addison, Javante. Going to be one-on-one help. Josh Allen. Okay, so first of all, to evaluate that trade, I would say, look, it could work out for you. Javante looks really solid right now, and having 4 more weeks of Javante and then having him the rest of the year going against Rice 1-for-1, it could be arguable. I think that if you didn't need him, and we'll look at your team right here, then I understand that move for the long term. Look, Monty's okay. Kamara obviously is serviceable right now for sure. I think that could change as he gets, he's older, man, and this team is gonna wear him down. Josh Allen, JT, Jettas. I'm not selling JJ high unless I get somebody that can buy on his old value, which is going to be really hard to get. And I don't know that you can sell MHJ right now either. So if you were to try and maybe sell like MHJ and Kamara together for some Chase Brown, let's say Genti goes out and has 40 yards, that might be something you're going to be able to pull off. Now, past that, I don't, I'm very intrigued by going and getting BTJ from people that are panicking like crazy. Am I buying at top 12 overall value like he got drafted? No. So there's the risk is not present. The risk that everybody wants to pretend is attached to BTJ right now, if you were to go get him, it's not real. We can worry about the value you paid on draft day and look backwards, or we can look forward and say BTJ is being given away. Like people in the chat when we first came in, sell BTJ, get rid of him now. It sounds like somebody that wants you to trade them BTJ. But so those are the things Chase Brown, BTJ. I don't, Stoney, have all the answers right now for the best buy lows of the week. That's coming tomorrow and the next day. So I would hang tight. So hang tight and we'll have more answers, but I appreciate you very much for the $20 holler. And I would look to those for now, those two guys for now. Thank you, Stoney. Appreciate you. Stoney to the moon. Just got offered Brock Bowers and Terry McLaurin for Justin Jefferson. I would take Brock Bowers and Terry McLaurin for Justin Jefferson right now. Should I wait on Jefferson and McCarthy to gel or pull the trigger? I would take that right now because Brock Bowers and I don't know. Travis, you agree on that one?
It was
Bowers
and
and
Jefferson.
Bowers and McLaurin for JJ. Chat, vote on that. I would take Bowers.
I don't like it.
You don't? You'd rather have JJ?
No. I like the Bowers side.
Yeah, he's offered Bowers. So, yeah. The Bowers side is what I'm saying. Yeah, take the Bowers side. He's getting Bowers. I would take it. All right, thank you for the super chat, Kyle. Appreciate you. Jesse with his $5 hauler says trade Garrett Wilson and Bucky for Jamar Chase and Rashee Rice. When Rice is back, this is a very arguable thing. But you have Jamar Chase with Browning now, so it's a different Jamar Chase. I know we want to say, oh, Jamar's fine, but remember that he did some of that damage with Joe Burrow in the game. So we don't really know. I mean, we do know. We saw Jamar Chase play very well, but was he a step below what he was with Burrow when Browning was in there? Yeah, there's a little bit lesser allure. But I think that what I'm going to do here is bank on Bucky. I don't know if you can wait until the game's played so you get a real feel of the total value, because look how much everyone's opinions change after one game of play. So maybe you put your finger over the button and watch the game. I don't know if this is a verbal offer, but hopefully it's sitting there for you. And then the moment Bucky scores a touchdown, you just smash the button. But I do lean a little bit toward Bucky and Garrett Wilson if you need the value now. So I don't know that I'm making this trade, because if you go get Rice, you've got a diminished by a little bit Jamar Chase and no Rice for 4 more weeks. What's your record going to be? So, and it's not like your team that you're listing here. I'm feeling like ultra uber confident that, you having these running backs of Brees and JCM only are going to have you in a position where you're 4-2 coming out of that 6. And then what? What's your running back situation look like? So I'm taking Bucky and Garrett Wilson. And I do believe Garrett will still be very good. It's so crazy to think about what people think of Garrett Wilson right now. Garrett Wilson was a top. We have people saying, I think Garrett Wilson might compete with all these top, 12 overall players. We have people in here talking like that in the chat, and reasonably so, understandably so, coming out of week 1. People would say, hey, what do you think of, this player? And we're talking about, like, I don't know. I don't want to say you can't use guys like BTJ, but like someone would say Puka, Puka Garrett Wilson. You'd be like, well, Garrett Wilson might be just as good. Look what he did in week 1. And that now after one game, and I know it's hard to buy into Fields right now because he might not play week number 3. And so it's doom and gloom. But to go from hero to 0 on one game when the first game he played amazingly, 100 yards and a touchdown, is just a very gross overreaction, So just be careful. Bucky for me, I'm not doing this trade. Let me get through these a little quicker. I'm sorry. Just Living Good says Brock Bowers, Keenan Allen, or Quentin Johnston. What is this question even asking me? You're not asking me if you should start Brock Bowers, right? He's fully expected to play. Keenan Allen, if he was to sit, sure. A $10 hauler, 10-man, 2-flex, PPR. Burrow, Genty, Hall, London, Marv, Igbuka, Hunter. Scored 32 points this week so far with this lineup. Penix, RJ Hart. Wow. Well, I mean, Burrow going down didn't help. Hall having a bust game. London having a bust game. Marv having, you've got 2 guys still to go. Maybe Igbuka and Genty put you in some respectable 80-point category. Penix Jr., RJ Harvey Sampson, JCM Sharps, $100, 0-2, banged up. What do you do? Not much you can do right now, bro. Let the dust settle. Let the rest of your boys play ball. There's no way to sell high on any of these players that have not played well this week. You're just doing yourself a disservice. So Wolfman, hang tight. You definitely need a quarterback. I mean, you got Penix Jr., so you're definitely relying on that. You're just waiting for something on the bench to pop, to have some. You got Rice coming back. You got to stay afloat, bro. You got to figure out a way to get to 3-3 at least when Rice comes back. So, that Burrow was such a hit to you, bro. Marv, Burrow, Hall, such a hit all in one. Fields going down hurt. Hall, everything got leveled this week for you. I mean, let's see what Genti and Buka do, and then see what kind of trade value they have for you. Right now, I'm telling you to move any of that, you're just going to take an L. You know, you're selling for, you go into a pawn shop and getting fraction of the value you could get if you just wait. 0-2 now, thinking I need a 2-for-1, have Dak, Henderson, Derrick Henry, Nico. See, this is tough because you don't have Derrick Henry to really divide and conquer right now if you need to, because he had 20 yards. He had 11 carries for 20-something yards, and I don't know what people are going to pay. I imagine most people will pay full price for him. You know, if I was trading for Derrick Henry, I would not expect that I can get away with getting him much cheaper. I would try. I would certainly try. But that's your only sell high piece right here. You're waiting on, let's see here. You're waiting on Nico. JSN's good sell high value. Like if you were to take JSN and get BTJ, let's say, and upgrade something, you cannot do this trade if you don't get just the right upgrade. But what can you get? You know, are you going to be able to take a Henderson who nobody wants right now and turn that into a doubted player like Hampton before the game kicks off, or like a player, trying to think of a player that even makes sense for this, where you could take JSN, downgrade into BTJ, and still get enough of a running back that it can be your running back too, like Judkins or something. But even that, I don't know that JSN's such a baller, bro. I don't know if I want to even get rid of him. Oh, you have ETN too. You have ETN. You're Henry, ETN, JSN, Nico. I'm holding with this squad, bro. I'm holding. I don't mind it. I think you're fine. I think you're fine. Let this ride out. ETN, see if you can get Tootin somehow. Do you have Tootin anywhere? I don't see him. I like this. And then something like ETN and JMO for BTJ. No, because right now BTJ has lower value than ETN. This is where some of you are getting in trouble. You're paying the draft value. You're trying to buy BTJ at what you drafted him, what he drafted him for. You got to buy BTJ for JMO, which some would argue I won't do that, Smitty, and I understand it. But if you wanted to take a gamble, JMO for BTJ, not ETN, even alone for BTJ, let alone ETN and JMO. That would be a horrible move. But I like ETN on the squad. It makes me not want to do anything right now, at least, bro. Just let the dust settle. Some of you are trying to, I know you want to fix it now, but some of you are trying to trade when some of your guys got to bounce back. Thoughts on Chase in London? Can you make a video? I mean, Rob, I don't know, Rob. I got a lot to do. I can't make a video just based on that. But I would say maybe you naturally get me making a video about that. I don't know. But I'm not going to plan to make a video on it. But I appreciate you. What about him? I mean, London right now, there's concern. What do you want me to say? Do I wish that London felt a little more secure right now? I do. Would I buy him low? Yes, I would. Would I buy him at medium rare pricing? No, because I would be afraid that I'd be buying too high. I don't know what's in store for him. Do I still think he can drop top, let's call it just a safe top 7 to 10 wide receiver line going forward? I think he could. Do I think he's a top 5 wide receiver right now? No, I don't. Am I hopeful that he can return to that? Yeah. Is it possible? Yeah. Jamar Chase, is he 1 overall? No. Is he 2 overall without Burrow? Probably not. Do I think he's still borderline top 5? Yes. I think Browning can get it done. It's just going to be a little less of those explosive 2 TD 190-yard games. You know, he might have a lot of 120-yard games without a touchdown. You know, it's hard to say. But, selling London right now is not an option. Selling Jamar Chase, I suppose it could be. Maybe someone will chase this thing and pay the normal price tag, but I highly doubt it. So there's not much of a video to make on it, bro, other than it's a waiting game for these guys. $10 hauler Superflex Dynasty attempt got offered Fannin early 26 first rounder and Jaden Higgins for Garrett Wilson. I'm not trading Garrett Wilson. I'm not selling him low. I like, you say it's an early first rounder, but what is the pick? If you say it's number 1 overall, then sure, I would take it. But if you can't guarantee me that, which you can't, then I'd rather hold Garrett Wilson. I think this is what I was talking about earlier. The overreaction on Garrett Wilson is crazy. Have Neighbors, Rice, Tet, Adunze, Olave. Have Ingram, Strange, tight end. I'm going to wait on that, bro. I'm not doing that trade. I'm sorry. 2-0, half PPR. JD5, Jacobs, Brees, Debo, Fannin, Ingram, Pickens, Harvey, Hendy, Sharps, JCM, Sampson. Stand down or wait for the rookies to make a move. I would definitely wait for Brees to bounce back. Jacobs is playing good, but you're not going to have anybody overpaying necessarily for him. Pickens played well. Harvey, Hendy, Sharps, wait on that. JCM's rising up. Not much to move here. Congrats on your 2-0. You've done pretty well considering you've been hit with some stuff. If you could trade, let's say, I don't even think you could sell any of this for the right price, bro. Like if you could go get, let's say you traded Debo for BTJ and were able to take like Hendy or Sharps into like a Chase Brown, which is going to be an impossible feat practically. But I see a lot of people freaking out about Chase Brown because Burrow's down, and Chase Brown does have some risk right now, or Kyron in that swap. Then, of course, I would do that. I would take Debo. If people are going to value Debo where they probably should, which is top 7 to 10, which is what he's doing right now, then I probably would take him and move it down to a risky BTJ, move down to a risky Kyron, using one of the running backs that you have. But I don't know how easy it'll be. JCM, for example, for Kyron, if you're going to go from Debo down to BTJ. Now, maybe the person values BTJ higher than that because they drafted BTJ, and that's understandable that they feel that way. But if you find someone panicking, you'll be able to pull something off crazy like that. Need help, 0-2, start 12-man, 2 QB, Knicks, Geno, 2 running back and a flex, Genty, Bucky, Hampton, 3 wide receiver, MHA, Higgins, Ridley, Hawkinson, Fannin, Tootin. Knicks bounce back nicely. You're waiting on Genty, Bucky, Hampton. I mean, you're about to. You say you're 0-2, but you have Genty, Bucky, and Hampton still to go. So I'm not really sure what we're saying here. MHJ, Higgins, Ridley. I mean, you're waiting on this team, bro. You're waiting. You're not going to sell those wide receivers, and I'm not selling running backs yet. And I like your team right now. Let's see what it is coming out of this week, and then see if we can maybe explore some 2-for-1s. Example, Kyron and BTJ, or Chase Brown and BTJ for one of the RBs. But I don't even know if I want to do that if I'm you. I love the balance of I love the running backs, the weight of those running backs. BTJ only good with backup QBs historically. You have no long-term data for that, bro. But I disagree. Cam dropped a blank 199. Appreciate you. Got offered my Gibbs for Brown and Pickens. I'd rather have Gibbs. I would not move Gibbs at that price. You need to move Gibbs for the world, bro. Thoughts on Jamar rest of season? I just answered that, but it's just, he's not top 1 or 2, but is he capable of top 5? Sure. Week 2, W. Thanks, Smitty. Glad you won. I'm glad some of you are showing your victories too. Everybody's acting like it's doom and gloom for everybody. It's not. You have the wrong combo of players, and you're struggling this week. But a lot of people have Achan. A lot of people have neighbors and Achan. You balled out today. Those are Jupiter men. It's not like there aren't amazing guys popping off. So love it hearing some of the victories. Christian Watson worth an ad. I'm not for redraft. No. Alec, appreciate you. 4 point per TD pass. Would you rather have Dak or Goff? Probably Man, Travis Dak or Goff?
I guess, man, after today, that's a lot tougher. I guess Dak. I still trust in that offense, but let me see.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
That's close.
I'll probably say Dak. Hold on, Ron Navy, just going through some super chats. So I'll be with you in a minute, man. I got to get through these or they'll pile up. Took Smitty's word on Travis Hunter and Genty, but they stuck. They suck. Thank God. Amon saved me. Genty, bro. Genty as in, what are you talking about? Jeez. Some of you guys are so overreactive. I mean, unbelievable.
Bad luck.
Who do you think? And let's remember the Mon Ra. This channel found on Mon Ra. So put some credit where credit's due as well, bro. Who do you like more rest of season, Warren or Williams? Warren or Williams? Who's Williams?
Javonte, I'm guessing.
Javonte? Okay, so Jalen Warren running. Okay, so Javonte. I mean, there's so many. There's Kyron Williams. There's who do you like more? Okay, so complete speculation, but JD5 might be toast. Okay, goats. Jeez, man. No one has a crystal ball. Chat, stop crapping. It's okay, bro. You don't need it. I appreciate it, though. Dodged a bullet. Traded Joe Burrow for Nick's Penix before the game time in a super flex. Okay, in super flex, I understand why you may have done that. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, good for you. But damn, Joe Burrow, it just sucks, man. How much fab would you drop on Browning out of $1,000 in a super flex? I mean, it's realistic in a super flex to drop all of your fab to get any starting quarterback. It just depends on what the historical amount is that everybody's dropping on those types of players. So I can't really tell you. Go back and look at the last very startable quarterback that was up for auction or up for fab droppage, and tell me what that number is, or just exceed that by $10, $20 or whatever to make sure you're doing the high. I don't know. I mean, Browning's not exactly a baller, but he scores over 20 points, I mean, it's a decent scorer. Got offered Tyreek Hill for DK Metcalf. What do you think? I'd rather have DK Metcalf in a vacuum, but I mean, Hill did have 100 yards today, but I just don't know that I buy this situation or him staying in that place, that scoring level of talent. I just don't know if I buy into Hill. Although Aaron Rodgers looked bad and reverted back a little bit today. DK Metcalf still found the end zone, but it wasn't like a great day. So preference, I suppose, is in order. But I guess I'd go DK. Jacoby Myers or Igbuka. Igbuka, bro. I mean, anything can happen, but how can you sit Igbuka? How can you sit him? If you played him last week, I can't imagine that you're sitting him this week. Hold Bigsby or trade to Saquon owner for $5 fab. It depends on what you can pick up, bro. If it's a valuable potential prospect for you in this particular league to have any sort of running back at all, I suppose I just hold him. But, I mean, anything can happen. I mean, he could get in there. He could never be used. Shipley could be back by the time this is ever a relevant question. So, I mean, $5 of fab is nothing, though. I would probably hold it over his head a little more than that, $5. Thoughts on Jalen Coker? Leggett looks bad. Coker's okay. But I don't know. I don't think I'm banking on him this year. 6 point per TD pass. Have Penix rank waiver QBs. Goff, Russell, T-Law, Danny Dimes. I go Goff, Danny Dimes, and then I don't really want Russell or T-Law because I don't think they'll be there at the end of the day for you. Appreciate your super chat. Thank you. This one from Golem. Appreciate you. What to sell neighbors scared of injury? What to sell neighbors scared of injuries? Who should I go get? You can get the world for neighbors. So make sure if you sell them, you're going and getting something very significant that you believe is going to help you win, and make sure you're only trading him if you can't win with neighbors. If you can win with neighbors, you just hold them for right now. You don't consider trading them right now. If you get down the road and you're really worried about the wins and losses and the fact that his toe is starting to become a concern, then you could potentially get a jump on it. But I guess looking at your roster, it sounds like you might need to sell him, I guess. Because if you can't win with him, if you truly believe you can't win with him, then you're going after a Chase Brown. And I mean, here's the thing is like, what do you get with them right now? Because a lot of the players that you would think before this week are so much cheaper. So I don't even know that it's smart to say, oh, go get Chase Brown and BTJ, which you think about 2 weeks ago, someone said this to you. You could trade Neighbors for Chase Brown and BTJ. You'd be like, well, I love Neighbors, but holy crap, I'm taking that. So if you were offered that in his situation where he can't win with Neighbors, everybody let go of the fact that he can't win with Neighbors. Would you rather take a chance on BTJ and Chase Brown over just Neighbors with his situation? Where you've got Connor and Pearsall and Hampton and Harvey and McMillan and then McConkey. That's it. I guess he's got Harrison Jr. as well. Do you want, and Ron, you can answer this, short answers because I still have to get through all these super chats. Chase Brown and BTJ over Neighbors in his situation? Or are you saying no, but I still want to sell him, but that's not the deal? That's not the right deal. And chat, you can weigh in on this too. Phone line, anybody?
Oh,
Either one of you listen.
Just Neighbors.
I'd probably leave Neighbors right now.
But can you trade Neighbors? What can you trade Neighbors for if you can't win with him? If Golem's saying I can't win, I have no chance, so I got to take a stab. What do you go get?
I don't know.
What do you need?
If the Genty owner has already lost, go get Genty and something else. If he's already lost his week.
Yeah, Genty wouldn't be the bad piece, I suppose, to hitch your wagon to with that situation. But yeah.
Downgrade wide receiver. What about obviously you have to find the right combo, but an ETN and a London, or an ETN and another doubted wide receiver.
I don't think ETN and London's enough for Neighbors. But would you guys do London and Genty for Neighbors if you were in his situation? Pearsall, Connor, Hampton, Harvey, McMillan, McConkey, MHJ. That's all he's got. You go get London and Genty. So I guess Golem. Golem. The answer is you go see what running back the London owner has. You go see what wide receiver the Genty owner has. But past that, you better hold Neighbors and just try and get more and wait for the right offer, because it does feel like you can get more. Started 3 wide receivers out of these 3. Tillman scored the most, 10 points. London and Garrett Wilson, dud week. Lucky I'm still winning. I have Genty for tomorrow. This is what I'm saying, though. Like, a lot of people need to understand, like, you had a bad week. Everyone had a bad week. There are going to be a lot of 90-point scorers this week. There are going to be a lot of 90-point scorers this week.
That beats me still.
Yeah, 80-point scores. Started 3 wide receivers. Oh, sorry, I just read this one. So good luck, James, on your matchup tomorrow. Based on Burrow's injury, would you rather have Higgins or Evans? Probably, I would say Evans, although we could regret that tomorrow. But I would say Evans right now. I don't know that I like Higgins right now. I think that's something I would definitely swap out. Just accepted a trade. I got Brian Thomas Jr. exchanged for Troy Franklin and Dylan Sampson. Bro, this is what I'm talking about.
What?
Yeah, I definitely take a chance on BTJ for that. This panic is insane. Bush Smith need help 1 in 1/2 PPR. Josh, Bijan, Connor, Sutton, Buka, Worthy, May, Keenan, Benson, Ollie, Addison. Move Josh, keep May. What moves? I don't know.
Get them into an elite wide receiver. But
yeah, if you're gonna hit that thumb up button, guys, and subscribe if you're new. We got 1,300 people on YouTube here, and 1,651 total. Please subscribe. Please hit the thumb up button. Appreciate you very much. Phone lines aren't open right now, guys. I'm sorry. I'd probably say, yeah, I mean, this team could use something. I don't know that you got Bijan. Actually, no, we get to call him Bijan now. He made an announcement. They talked about it on TV. It's such an exciting piece of news. I almost maybe do a video on it. But Bijan wants to be called Bijan again, which is crazy. That's like someone calling, like if Ron's name was Ron, and we started calling him Rahan, and we called him Rahan for so many years, and then he said it's actually Ron. But then out of nowhere, he's like, let's go back to it. I want to be called Rahan for the rest of time. Bijan, it's really weird, but Bijan wants to be called Bijan again. And I got to say, that made my night, actually.
Saves a lot of it. Yeah.
And now I'm stuck on saying it the other way. So Bijan. I got to go back to Bijan. But what an amazing piece of news today. Josh Allen for BTJ and Chase Brown. Josh Allen for Genty and something. I know you need a receiver, but I also think you need a running back too, just as much. I think Connor, I like Connor, and you got Benson, so that's nice. But you could also, switch this out for something else too later. But I'd very much try and get a BTJ and a Genty. I'd very much for Josh Allen and something. You could give up something else. You could throw Keon Coleman. You could throw maybe Keenan Allen if he has a good day. You could maybe throw in Addison. You could maybe throw, I mean, I don't know what Addison's going to do with McCarthy throwing him the ball. I really don't know if McCarthy's got what it takes. I mean, he just really looks completely out of his element. So I would go in that direction, my boy. This one here from Ethan. Ethan says QBs, Josh Allen, JCM, Harvey, Benson, Lamb, Evans, Pearsall, Waddle, McBride, start 7, need 1 running back. Thinking Lamb for BTJ and Hampton. Look, that could work out. I don't even think it's crazy. It could work out. I think people are over panicking on BTJ. I think people, one game, 100 yards and a touchdown, everybody's going to forgive him. So Hampton, let's see what he does. Keep your finger over that. Maybe have him offer it to you. You know, like if this is your idea, just say, hey, send it to me. And that way it's there for you to hit accept. But I think you need to have Hampton play like a top 12 running back tomorrow. And if that's the case, then this might be a gamble worth taking. But at the end of the day, if Hampton doesn't ball out and I want to see it happen, I don't think I'm doing that in advance. I love that I drafted Chase Brown. How does Burrow injury affect him? The same way it affects Jamar Chase. I mean, is Chase Brown a top 5 running back potentially with Joe Burrow? Yes. Is he now 6 to 10? Meaning he could be 6. He could be one spot below, but he now has, unfortunately, a floor. Every week he could have a floor of being outside the top 10 running backs. But some total feels 6 to 10-ish, 6 to 12-ish. He still got a high ceiling, but his floor used to be like a 4 to 8 guy. No matter what, he's probably a top 8 running back. Top 4 could be his ceiling. Top 3. But now it's more like a 6 to 12. And so that's where it is. There's a trap door where he could just vanish any given week. Burrow, also when is London going to look like a top 10 wide receiver again? I mean, let's remember 2 things. And I would say this about BTJ here. BTJ coming out of week 1 had 4 starts with Penix Jr. and he was targeted. I want to guess, I don't know the exact number, but I want to say like top 5 in the league in the last 4 starts, the only 4 starts he had with Penix Jr. And then he suffered the shoulder injury. I know he was off the injury report, but he's still playing with a sprained AC joint. So I think he can get back to top 10 form. I still, like Travis said, believe in him, but I'm not paying the previous value anymore. So, hopefully he does return to that soon. I'm not going to go buy him at that value. I'll buy him low and hope for that, for sure. Christo, appreciate you. Started Bryce Young week 1, started Fields week 2. Do I drop both of them and pick up Goff and Love? Yes, I would say absolutely. Kincaid, Ertz, or Fannin rest of season. I'm I'm going to say Ertz is maybe the safest, but I still believe in Fannin. And I'm going to say Fannin overall I want, but week to week until you're pushed in a direction that you got to like make that call or make a trade. Should I try and trade Kenneth Walker and Chase for Amon-Ra, St. Brown, and James Cook? I would take Amon-Ra and James Cook. I think. Right, guys? Yeah. Chat, vote on that. I mean, end of the day, Cook is better than Walker, and Amon-Ra is going to rival Jamar Chase now. I would do that trade. I think the chat's going to agree with that. Smitty starting down 0-2, down by 19 points with Bowers left. No panic. Bowers is good enough to get this done, my boy. About my team, but what can I move? Superflex, Pat Mahomes, Penix Jr., good quarterbacks. Kyron, don't panic. Tony Pollard, Bill Sharps. Bill should step in for you. RJ Harvey, let him wait in the wings. Let him marinate. Let Tootin marinate. Chase, Devontae Smith, Pickens. I don't think I'm moving. First of all, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but I don't think I'm moving anything because you can't. None of these guys are sell-high candidates anywhere. Anyway, unless you can do what that guy's doing, trade Chase into Amon-Ra St. Brown and then move something else as well. You know, you're moving like Tony Pollard into a Hendy. You know, you do something like that where you're in crafty fashion grabbing that underrated. You can say all until you're blue in the face you don't like Hendy, but I'm taking Hendy for a Pollard swap, especially if I can move JCM in and I can just say, well, I don't need Pollard. I'll take the gamble. I'll wait on Hendy. If anybody thinks they're never going to use Hendy, I got a bridge to sell you. I don't know when it's going to be. I'm very sorry they're not using him. I would use him. I can't control that this team is not using this monster of a running back. And if anybody says he's not good, you haven't even seen him. He hasn't even failed yet. Anybody saying Henderson's bad, he's cheeks, he's never good, he's told you he's never going to be good, you're casually talking about the conversation. Now, I can't control when he gets used. I can't. Thank you, not Quanti, for the super chat. Appreciate you. JCM or Judkins? Judkins, I think, probably safer. I like both of them. Tyreek in the flex. So all three of these, I guess I would say Judkins going forward for right now. Hurts my QB. Penix on the bench. Should I try and trade Penix to the Burrow owner? Sure. Yeah. I mean, go get Hendy, go get Harvey, go get something that you can just sit on your bench and let marinate. Henderson or K9, worried about Stevenson. K9 for right now. I mean, that's just the safe play. There's nothing to debate about it. You just throw Kenneth Walker in there, but just keep in mind that Sharps outplayed him in week one. Now Kenneth Walker outplayed him. I mean, there's certainly the world where I can't control that. Thanks for the $10 holler tater sandwich. About to be 2-0 with the help of your advice. Dropped my tight end for Fannin, and he did what I needed him to do. Let's go. Better than the other tight end I could have grabbed. Keep it up. Keep it rolling. Thank you, pal. Appreciate you, tater sandwich, dropping the super chat. G, appreciate you. Smitty, need your help. 101 full PPR. Kyler, Saquon, James Cook, Amon-Ra, St. Brown, Tyreek Hill, McLaurin, Hawkinson, bench, Kenneth Walker, Sharps. Tyreek Hill, I'm trying to get rid of him off a 100-yard game. Probably trying to upgrade my quarterback if I can. You got Kenneth Walker to go into the lineup somehow, right? Hopefully, as a flex. I don't know. Maybe you don't have a flex. Saquon, James Cook, Amon-Ra, Tyreek Hill, McLaurin. Maybe this is a no flex league. I'm not sure based on the way you listed it, but definitely looking to move Kenneth Walker and Sharps together. Maybe you can upgrade Tyreek Hill into Jamar Chase or something using that. You know, go get a Lamb. Go get Tyreek Hill for, honestly, BTJ. Travis, would you trade Kenneth Walker for BTJ or no?
I would. I still believe in BTJ too.
Ron, would you take BTJ or Kenneth Walker? Everyone's answer is going to be Kenneth Walker. You're just going to say Kenneth Walker because he just did something. And I understand. I'm not mad at it. But I want to know what the chat thinks. And Ron, would you take a chance on BTJ or Kenneth Walker?
BTJ, but it really depends on what I needed for how that affected my positions overall.
I'm proud of
what
the
else
chat.
I had.
I'm proud of the chat right now. I'm not saying if you say Walker, I'm mad at you or I disagree with you, but I'm very, very glad that the chat is not giving up on BTJ in general. I'm very, very proud of the chat right now. Very, very. I was really wondering if I was going to be living in La La Land by myself. Definitely looking to move Tyreek Hill or Kenneth Walker. Go after BTJ right now. We just saw BTJ get undervalued in that other guy's trade. Obviously, is there any news on Aaron Jones? Not yet, but he was walking on the sideline. I don't know if there's anything that broke. Travis, if you can look up Aaron Jones real quick, that'd be great.
Yep.
Traded
It was a
Puka.
hamstring is all I know.
Yeah, I don't think we have any information. He's walking around the sideline. I traded Puka, Kenneth Walker, Ibuka, and Coleman for AJB, Henry, and London. Feeling more like a loss. Puka, Kenneth Walker, Ibuka, and Coleman for AJB, Henry, and London. I think at the end of the day, bro, there's pros and cons to this. Right now, it feels like an L because Walker just exploded. But if Walker goes back to being a confusing situation, which is certainly possible, and Buka, let's say, has a normal game this week, then all of a sudden, it's just Puka on that side. Now, AJB, I'm not a fan of right now, but Derrick Henry, I'm not scared of. And London, I still believe in. So at the end of the day, I guess what I would tell you is that if you can flip AJB into something crafty right now, go get a doubted Henry with something, go get BTJ. Then all of a sudden, BTJ, Henry, and London is much better side at the end of the day, and you'll feel much more comfortable with the overall trade if you're able to flip AJB for an equally safe doubted player. 0-2 PPR, Knicks, Bijan, Harvey, Lamb, Sutton, Strange, Quentin Johnson, Sharps, Tootin, Rice. Do I trade Lamb and Bijan for depth? No. Your team, look, when you have that kind of firepower, bro, I don't know that let's see here. You're getting Rice back here. I'm probably trying to move Rice. He's 2 games closer to coming back now. But I don't know what you're going to get here. This team is kind of a little bit rough around the edges outside of that, though. I guess it depends on what you can get, bro. If you can go get Genty and I don't know, guys, Bijan for London and Genty for him, or is that just not a gamble you're willing to take? Bijan for London.
He's got.
I don't know
that he has. He's got Bijan, so I guess it's his running back he's worried about.
I mean, it is kind of like heavy on that, and then I don't know. Chat saying no, keeping Bijan.
I was gonna say I think I'd.
Yeah.
Bijan and Lamb.
Maybe
now.
Yeah, go Lamb. Try and get Lamb for BTJ and a running back like Chase Brown. And if you got to give up something, go that route. Keep Bijan. Hold Harvey. Lamb and Sutton even, but Lamb and Sharps. Maybe Tootin gains a little bit of value. You go Lamb, Tootin, or you just go Lamb straight up. Lamb straight up. Go to the BTJ owner. Go to the London owner. See if they've got a player they can give you. See if someone's panicking on Kyron and a BTJ all at once. Kyron and BTJ for Lamb would work. I would take a gamble on that.
Yeah.
Chat, do you agree on that? BTJ and Kyron, or London and Kyron for Lamb. I would do that in his situation. JT and Jamar Chase for Cook, and I already did that one. No, that was a different one. Is that a different one? That might be a different one. JT and Jamar Chase for Cook and Amon-Ra. That's a different one. That's very similar to the other one. JT and Jamar Chase for Amon-Ra Brown. For Amon-Ra. And I think he means St. Brown. Amon-Ra St. Brown. Okay. So JT and Jamar Chase for Cook and Amon-Ra St. Brown. Probably JT and Chase in this one. But super close. Yeah. Super close, honestly. Have Hurts and Dak. Trade Hurts for Kyron or Jacobs. I assume is what your slash means. I wish you would just put or, because a lot of people use it as and. If it's and, of course I do it. But for one of them, I think I probably do trade Hurts for Kyron. I'd like Kyron over. Well, Jacobs is safe too. I don't know. I still believe in Kyron. I think people taking away from that game that Corum's taking his job is laughable. It's 2 wide receiver, 2 running back, 1 tight end, 1 flex league for my last question. All right, G. I'm way past it, but I appreciate you, bro. 2-0 half PPR. Herbert, JT, CMC, Tet, DK, Sutton, Kelsey, Mason, Nix. Any moves? No, I mean, I with this team the way it is, I think I roll with it for a little bit. You're 2-0 for a reason. Let it go. Let it kind of score the way it's scoring right now, bro. It's a solid team. I'd be open-minded to BTJ trades. Like, try to get BTJ or London using a combination of, I don't know that Nick Mason's going to do anything. Maybe Herbert blows up and you could put Nix in and take a gamble there, and Herbert has a 4-touchdown game, and the guy that owns BTJ or London has Burrow. You know what I mean? Go to the Burrow and Fields owners and see what Herbert will look to them after Herbert has his game. And if he doesn't do well, then you try and trade Nix. But I could imagine a Burrow or Fields owner looking at Herbert if he has a 4-touchdown game, and you saying Sutton and or DK and Herbert for BTJ and something like, I could see that, or Herbert for BTJ straight up if they lost Burrow. People do that all the time when they lose a quarterback. They'll trade a positional player, a non-QB, for that player. It happens all the time. Have Hollywood and Judkins on the bench, thinking about offering them both for Addison. Why? Judkins is about to triple Addison's value, unfortunately. Don't do that. Even if it doesn't work that way, the value, the fair market's going to have Judkins way above Addison. This would be a horrible move. Horrible move.
Don't drop Judkins either. I had a couple people ask me if they should drop Judkins for so-and-so. Like, I don't know if they just didn't pay attention.
No, bro. Don't do that at all. That's crazy. Judkins is about to go ham in the fair market for value. 2-0 half PPR Herbs JTC. Oh, I just read this one. Thank you. Appreciate you. And the final super chat, and then I'll go over to Ron Navy. $10. Hey, Smitty, Lamb available for trade. My team is JD5 Achan, Mason, Tet, McMillan, BTJ, Buka. Don't freak out with this team. It's a good team. You got a lot to be excited about. Tootin, who would you be comfortable trading for CD Lamb? I honestly, it's gonna be hard to get him. It'd be like BTJ and Mason. It'd be Tet McMillan. It'd be Buka and Mason. It would be. They don't really have anything else that can move it. I don't think you can get him unless you were to trade Achan, which I don't want to trade Achan. I don't want to trade. Buka for Lamb won't get it done, but what would he take? Mason? Probably not. Tet McMillan and Buka for Lamb and something. I maybe consider that depending on what he gave me back, but I'd probably do that. I mean, I love Buka, but give me Lamb. So Ted and Buka for Lamb and something. That's the only thing I'd consider. There's not really much else to do. All right, Ron Navy, you're live. I'm sorry about your Joseph cigar smoking Burrow. You're really excited.
Yeah, I guess my bold prediction next year will be Burrow actually plays half a season.
That just might win.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was a rough week across the entire fantasy football space, guys. It was it
was worse for me.
But everybody,
it was good for people. It had to be good for people when you got. Hell, I had to play in the one dynasty league. I mean, I had to play Kenny Powers. He managed to get 213 points.
Yeah,
74.
Anybody that had, St. Brown and a combination of JT on the same team, like, you had a big week. But there were so many people that got hit with massive injuries, so many dud plays. Like if no one has time to look around I don't have time to look at other rosters. I'm sure you guys also don't. Like, have you looked around at other teams? No, you're just looking at your box score going, damn it, doom and gloom. But everybody got hit with something this week. Everybody practically, except for Ron, for the people you played. But other than that, so just understand the whole world was hit at some way, some way, shape, or form. Someone had a Henry, or someone had, like in last week, in the running back scoring in general has been down massively. Bijan, our boy Bijan, who is a monster and a marvel.
Mashed potatoes!
And it feels so good to see Bijan on top, because it took about 2 years of us touting Bijan as the number one overall player in fantasy. And honestly, there's even moments where we wavered and we're like, is this going to happen? Because Arthur Smith wouldn't let it happen. Is it going to happen? Kirk Cousins is holding the team back. It wasn't going to happen. And now it feels like they truly are buying into leaning on Bijan. Bijan. Now we can say Bijan again. Damn it. I'm saying Bijan all the time. But anyway, kind of feel like I need to make moves. Hurts, Lamb, Sutton, Achane, ETN, Devontae Smith. I don't know. Your team's pretty good, bro. I think you could explore a Devontae Smith, and I don't even think you have like Judkins. Let Judkins gain some value, but you could go after BTJ, buy low on him, or just wait for Judkins to gain more value than flip him later, or that might enable you the ability to flip ETN for a big wide receiver. But I don't think you got to make any moves. I think this team's pretty solid. You're waiting on Judkins. That Judkins value is going to serve you well, bro. Just be patient with it. QB Fields. Let me get these 2 super chats out, and then I'm going to probably jump guys on the phone line here. Actually, let me get to Ron real quick, and then I'll get to these super chats after. Go ahead real quick, Ron. Any final thoughts or anything you want to talk about?
Well, this is how bad it was. I'm in 4 different dynasty leagues, and 3 out of the 4 are related to this show. So the Moon Man League, 74 points to 112. The Voicemail League, I got a whole whopping 54 points, losing that one. Man Cave League, which is different, 77 points. Graveyard Dynasty, whole 75 points to the person I'm playing, 117. That's how my freaking, and let's not talk about best ball, underdog, where I went into this week projected winning, it's only second week, right? But I had over $1,500. Now I got $69. So that's how my week went this week. And
you'll bounce back, baby. You'll bounce back, Ron Navy.
Big crap in my bowl of Wheaties.
You're Ron Navy. You can do anything.
You only go up.
I can't do anything. I'm always wrong on everything, Smitty.
No, you'll be fine.
If I'm giving any advice on here, always do the opposite.
All right.
That's why you win all the bets against me, because I suck.
We'll consider it. We'll factor it into the formula. Don't worry about it, Ron. All right, my boy. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Cool off. Watch a little Netflix.
I don't want to.
All right.
I got Burrow in 2 of those leagues, dude.
I know.
I got Burrow in the Moon Man League. I got Burrow. I got Burrow in the.
I don't know that I can draft Burrow anymore. I don't think I can weather through the ups and downs of his injuries. It's just nonstop. He just can't stay healthy. He just can't stay healthy.
It's a good thing I got Penix in the Moon Man League, but even Penix, he's not doing as good as I want him to do. He's not doing that great either.
I think Penix. There's a lot. There's a lot of.
Oh, and I feel bad. I feel bad for Travis. Travis, he made that trade, and Hendy isn't even being used, and Penix isn't doing. Yeah, but
I dropped 153 points this week. I'm good. I won.
All right,
yeah,
Ron.
you're good.
I got to get to these super chats. Ron, I appreciate you, bro. Don't worry, you'll be fine. You'll bounce back. You got this. All right, later, Ron. All right, Travis. Anything else?
I'll jump to Smitty.
Okay. All right.
I was just gonna say, he's owned in a lot of sleeper, but not so much of Yahoo. He's dropped in a lot of Yahoo. Cooper Kupp had 90 yards today. He's available in like 25% of Yahoo leagues, so keep an eye on him. But that was the only guy I thought of
on the board. I'll put him on the board.
That was available.
All right, we'll see you later, Travis. Appreciate you.
Thanks, Smitty. Bye.
Yep. Snoopy says, congrats on the 36K. Thank you, pal. Appreciate you. And I see your other message, your celebratory message. No better place to be. Thank you, Snoopy, for that. Scooby. Snoopy also has a super chat right here, which is any moves, Smitty, Bucky, Hampton, Hendy, Bill, Mason, Lamb, Buka, MHJ, Ridley, fan, and one spot open for waivers, mashed potatoes. I like the running backs a lot. Bill's about to get on his horse, hopefully. May's pretty crafty right now. Lamb and Buka, MHJ. Can't sell MHJ. Can't sell Ridley. Not much to really sell high here, bro. And I don't think I want to get rid of anything in any sort of emergency fashion. So I think I'm waiting on MHJ and Ridley to get back to some sort of normalcy for you. Bill to go crazy. Maybe Bill and May could upgrade your QB room a little bit, but try and see what's what in that regard. But I think right now I roll with this team. It's pretty solid, and just let Bill do his thing and gain some value. Hit that waiver wire if there's anything out there. But I like that team. It's a pretty good hold. Nick, appreciate you. QB Fields, I'm sorry to hear. Jamar, London, AJB. I'd get rid of AJB if I could. Henry, Hendo, Tootin, Benson, Sharbs, Bowers, 0-2. Man, it's a tough. I mean, how down are you? I guess Fields really took you out, but Bauer still plays, but you seem to be out of reach, I suppose. So, hopefully Tootin gains some value so that AJB Tootin can be coupled. I'm still trying to move AJB for BTJ, and there are people that will freak out about BTJ enough to want to go get another player that is still also doubted, but they just want to laterally go into a different player. So I'm trying to trade AJB. He's one of my bigger avoids this year, and I just don't know what is in store for him. Because number one, I mean, his quarterback threw for 100 yards, barely threw for 100 yards, no passing touchdowns. Hurts is not a good thrower, and so I'm getting rid of AJB and Sharbs, or AJB and Benson, or hopefully Tootin gets value. But you might have to let him have a big game. But AJB for BTJ would be something I'd be on the case about. My boy, appreciate you. We got a $20 hauler from Ross. Ross, appreciate your $20 hauler, my boy.
Alert. Super chat alert.
We got a $20 hauler here from Messiah. Appreciate your $20 hauler as well, young man. Let me hit that button for you as well.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Injury status of Burrow is right on the screen, my boy. I mean, I guess I have it covered up. So I'll move that right here. There you go. Smith, let's play a game. Can you please pull up my previous supers? Bosh, I can't play a game right now. I got a hammer full of super chats here. I can't play games and pull up other super chats. You got to put everything in the super chat. Otherwise, if I did that, I wouldn't get through anything. I can't go sifting through everything. Trade for my friend and I do it live. Put the teams in a question or something. I can't comb through. That'd take me 15 minutes. I appreciate your super chat, but I can't. I got to put it in the message. Nervous to start the year 0-2. Have Herbert, Ladd, and Evans to play tomorrow. Down 17. They have CJ and Houston kicker. I have Ladd and Herbert and Evans to play tomorrow. Down 17. They have CJ Stroud and the Houston kicker. I think you got this, bro. Team is Herbert. I think you got this. And as far as moves to make, I'm not panicking on anything you have here. I'm probably holding until you get some sort of resurgence in Chase Brown. Ladd should do well, and I don't know that I'm even selling him if he does well. I don't know that someone's going to sell him as, way over his value. He's probably just going to earn his value. People are going to respect him, but still, doubt him or whatever. I don't think there's anything here to move. You got to let Garrett Wilson rebound. Let's see what Mike Evans does tomorrow. Let's see what your boys do tomorrow. I don't want to trade Bijan. He's the only one here that you'd be able to go get the world for, and I don't know that you need it. I think your team will be fine, and I think you get the win. If you get the L tomorrow, let's talk about it then. $20 hauler from Messiah. Grandmaster, I need guidance. I went into draft unprepared and made blind picks. Roster is Mayfield, Bucky, JT, Evans, Waddle, Andrews, Walker, Bates, bench Charbonnet. Am I cooked? No, honestly, you got some good value here. I mean, between Bucky, JT, Evans, I think, bounces back a little bit. I like this squad. I'd try and move Waddle. We talked about it earlier. Walker for BTJ. Take a gamble, bro. Keep Charbonnet. I know everyone's going to crap on Charbonnet right now. Keep Charbonnet. Trade Walker for BTJ straight up. And that could go straight into your wide receiver room. I think it's a good move, bro. It's worth it to me. I think that's the move I would focus on right now. And this one here, PPR, 2 running back, 3 wide receiver, 1 flex, 1-on-1, Mahomes, Genty, Hampton, BTJ, Higgins, Ibuka, Kraft, Javonte, benches, Keenan Allen, Cup, Jawan, Harvey, Tracy, Chubb, Fannin, moves. You got to wait and see. We got to let the dust settle. Your team's still playing, bro. And I'm not getting rid of BTJ on the low. T. Higgins feels risky. You might have to use Kraft. Put Fannin in, and I know Kraft went nuts, but Kraft and Higgins to go get that player, man, that doubted wide receiver London right now. Probably what I'm doing. London, there's a plethora of wide receivers you could go get using Kraft and Higgins. I think you look in that direction. London would be my starting point, but definitely feel like it's possible to go that route. That's where I'm going with your team. Appreciate your super chat. And then, would you rather have Hampton or Chase Brown now? Right now, maybe Hampton by a hair. I hate to say it, my boy. I hate to say it. For right now. Chad, am I wrong on that? Am I overthinking that? Chase Brown, they still are going to use the hell out of him. Hampton or Chase Brown, vote in the chat. I think Hampton's going to be a baller. But, damn, man, I guess Chase Brown might be a tad safer because we haven't seen week 2 of Hampton yet. But if week 2 of Hampton is balling out, then all of a sudden this changes, right? Chase Brown. A lot of Chase Brown votes. I think it's debatable. Hampton, Chase Brown, Hampton, Chase Brown. Chase Brown is safer. If let's say this offer was on the table, hover your finger over the button, let Hampton play. All right, let me see if I can find this. Aaron, thank you for the super chat. Likely only 12% owned in Yahoo, about to come back. Yeah, Likely is a good one too. I'll make sure Likely and Cup are on the list when we walk out the door right now. And then who was the one that wanted me to play the game? Bush, you're the one that wanted me to play the game. Bush, let me just look real quickly. I don't know that I'm going to be able to find this real quickly. Jacobs, Brees, Debo, Fannin. This is too complicated. You're saying, can you please pull up my previous supers? Like, putting this together, my brain can't even handle this. 2 different rosters? Come on, my guy. Ugh. Let's try it. All right, Boosh, hold on. Hold on, Boosh. Damn it, Boosh. Josh Allen, come up with a trade. You want me to come up with a trade? I mean, you can't trade Josh Allen or JD5. You both have quarterbacks. Connor Benson, and Worthy. Connor Benson, Worthy, Debo. But I mean, one of you is going to make out on the trade, though. I'm trying to give up something like Keenan Allen for Hendy right now, or Harvey. Just take it. Connor and Benson for Hendy would honestly be worth it to me. Just to hold Hendy. I don't know. Bush, it's hard to come up with something because, like, I'm trying to win a trade. It's hard for me to come up with an even Steven trade. I almost rather not do even Steven trades because I feel like they just make both teams better. But I'm trying to grab, if I'm whichever owner didn't have Hendy, I'm trying to get him for free. Harvey for free. Harvey not producing at the moment. He's not getting the opportunities. Running back room is weak. Have Fannin and Warren looking to trade Warren Tootin for Kyron. I would love that. Or Warren straight up for Bill. I would not do that. I think Warren's worth more than Bill. I love Warren. Warren, I think, is the number 3 or 4 tight end this year. But would I trade Warren and Tootin for Kyron? Yes. Would I do that for Hampton? Yes. Would I do that for Chase Brown? Yes. Would I trade Warren for BTJ? Yes. So take those ideas, Jay, and apply those. Thank you all for your super chats. Appreciate you all for everything. I'm sorry I'm jumping here. Exhausted. Still got a video to create for tomorrow. We'll be back. Appreciate you all. Tomorrow we'll be talking buy lows right away. For everybody that's had struggling players today, look, the whole world does. Keep the faith. Don't trust the process, but navigate and adapt. Navigate and adapt. Adjust and adapt. I appreciate you all. I'll see you tomorrow. Live whenever big news breaks. Appreciate all of you. Thank you, mods. On that note,
Hi, my name is B. John Robinson. I like long walks on the beach. And, well, I also like scoring.
but the continuum of the gigawatt component structure of Jahmyr Gibbs' workload divide has a megawatt offload that if you compartmentalize the component conjunction timekeeper and you flux capacitor out the continuum component megabolt, things just end up happening. And that's why Jahmyr Gibbs is a top 5 to 10 running back instead of top 6 to 10. Keep in mind that some of the biggest players on this show, Bijan, Gibbs, Achane, these are show guys. Okay, so everybody out there complaining, oh, Smitty, like people, Smitty, the show players doing badly. Bijan, Gibbs, Achane. Not only have we been higher on those three players specifically, more than any other channel since they came into the league, but they're balling. So let's remember that before you walk in here and act like the sky's falling for all the players on the channel because some of the bold predictions haven't landed yet. Patience. Patience.
Achane. Achane is the man. His haters call him small.
But he is 9 feet tall.
Achane is the man.
Get lammed. Your Bijan card has been revoked.
Live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, every single Monday through Friday. Live whenever big news breaks, and live midnight almost every single night. Appreciate you all.